What's going on YouTube? This is Rob A, and today we're going to be taking a look at LEGO Bionicle set number 70789, Onua, Master of Earth. This guy has 108 pieces and retails for about 20 bucks. As you can see, he is the Toa of Earth, and he's big. He's got the biggest box out of all of the Toa. And he is definitely hugely wide. He's got huge shoulder pads, this very nice black, purple, and gold deco, which I think looks just really, really fantastic. He comes with a skull spider, of course, and a gold version of his Mask of Power. He also has a giant warhammer, which is pretty neat. And that can split into two pieces to give him giant, like, digging claws, which is pretty neat. On the back of the box, it shows the co-cell between him and the Protector of Earth, showing that he gets bulked out shoulder pads as well as a big spiky ball thing, which is pretty cool. And there's a little comic here. It shows you how the skull spider works, how the mask works, and the arm swinging movement. So very, very cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this guy open, put together, and we will check him out right now. Alright guys, so here we have our Earth Toa, and I have to say the first thing I noticed when I opened the box was that he had a sticker sheet. His chest is not printed, and that's kind of a bummer. The good thing is it's just two large stickers, and they're fairly easy to attach. Not really anything crazy going on there. They're cut to kind of the shape of the chest panels and things like that, so they look fine once they're on there, especially because it's black. It really helps it to look like, you know, not like it's a sticker. And I think they do a really good job of that, but I do just wish that they had printed the piece. But, you know, what are you gonna do? So here he is. He is super wide, as you can see, and fairly squat. He's not terribly short. I mean, here he is with Lewa. You can see he is a little bit shorter, about maybe a head shorter. But you can even actually raise his head up if you really wanted to, and just make him just as tall as the others. But I think it looks a little bit goofy that way. He actually is the only Toa so far that has a joint at the neck here, so you can kind of lower his head down and make him kind of fit his body profile a little bit better. As you can see, he has a big warhammer here. It's a little weird looking, but I think it's pretty cool overall. He's got the same articulation that the other Toa have. He's got the shoulder ball joint, of course. He's got the elbow. He's got the wrist. The hips, of course, and once again he's got the extenders on his hips and on his upper shoulders, so just be careful when you're posing that you hold it by the extender clip and not down here, because you're going to end up just pulling the leg off when you do that. So aside from the articulation, he's got pretty big floppy feet. Well, they're not really floppy, they're actually quite stiff, which is nice. He's got big solid feet to kind of carry all that weight. Of course he does have this, which does come apart into two pieces, and I don't know how I feel about that. I do wish it was just one long piece that went all the way through, because when you kind of detach this, he does have a spot on his back right here that you can actually kind of attach this when it's not in use, but there's no place really to put this little bit, and they just tell you to kind of keep it in his hand, which I don't know, I think that looks a bit silly, to be perfectly honest. I guess you could like stick it back here in his other, you know, shoulder, just like that. But again, it kind of sticks out annoyingly, but I guess it's not as bad. But the whole thing is, so here's the deal with the skull spiders. I know I do this every video, and you know, of course, for every person, my video may be there first. I don't know what that meant. So to remove the mask, you just go back here, and you have this little lever on the back of the head, and you just press that down, and the mask pops right off. And then the skull spider is just a mask with legs on it, basically, and you just go ahead and pop that right on, and then you have a Toa that is infested or controlled by the skull spiders. So that's pretty cool, and you just hit the button again to pop that right back off. But now that you have the mask off, I'll show that off really quickly. There is the mask. It's a little hard to see, make out the details because it is black, but you do also get a gold version, and this one's a little bit easier to make out the detail on. So there you go, you get each of those, and then you can put on his gold mask to make him, you know, powered up. So he's got the super powered gold mask, and then what you want to do is pop just the silver, like, main portion of the hammer off. Just leave that attached on his shoulder, and you just split these apart here and stick one in each fist, just like so. And there you have his powered up mode. And what you do then is come back here and you twist the yellow knob, and then he can dig. And they did a really cool thing over here in the construction of this guy, because they added a separate ball joint here in the construction of the arms. This isn't attached to either of the arms, but it is sort of in the way. It's on the same axle. So basically how it works is you're twisting this, and it's moving the ball inside the ball cup, and that is causing quite a lot of friction and keeping the arms nicely up in the air, so they don't flop around at all, even though they're on just a twisting axis. So that's pretty cool. And his shoulder pads are on a couple of different joints. They're actually on ball joints right here, and here, I'll try and show you a little bit here. If you take off his chest panel, if you can do it without breaking everything, Rob, let's give that a shot. Alright, you open up his chest panel. You can kind of see the inner workings here. There we go, that's fine. So you can see that his shoulder pads are on these like pivoting, moving joint system that are actually on ball joints down here, and then are attached to more ball joints here, and then attached to the shoulder pads up there, which gives them a nice, not a huge range of motion, but makes them nicely posable over the arms at least, so that they can look good in multiple kind of positions. So I just thought that was a really nice touch that they did, and yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. The only trouble is actually getting them both to kind of line up with one another, because they want to kind of be sort of independent, as it were. But there you go. So there he is. I am now just missing one of the main Toa, which is cool. I think I like to turn his arms a little bit, or his hands a little bit to the side, because he's got those big digging claws going on there. So there he is. We'll do a quick size comparison here with Gali and once again Lewa. So you can see he's shorter, he's stockier, but he's definitely wider, which is really cool. And then of course you get the Protector of Earth, which adds the extra shoulder pads, or I may even end up adding the shoulder pads here on the arms, making kind of like spiked gauntlets, which I think would be really cool. But I'm going to do that, like I said in one of these other videos. I'm going to do that in a separate video once I get all of the Toa and all of the protectors. I'll show you guys what all the powered up versions look like, and probably compare them to their the first iterations of the Bionicle Toa, which would be kind of interesting to see. So I think that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. I've got more Bionicle coming soon, and more Lego in general, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, thanks again for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.